Mawra, you call yourself a nomad. How does traveling influence your work?
I love traveling, and I get a lot of inspiration from traveling in many ways, not only when it comes to fashion. But I think that inspiration mostly comes due to people and the fact that we all have different ways of wearing clothes and viewing them. But mostly, it is also very much linked to the past and traditions and history. And when I'm traveling, I get to not only see how we as global citizens think differently, but you get to take part in the journey that kind of makes that mindset, which is different from people to people and country to countries. And that really makes you able to think on a broader level yourself as well. So I think everything that I do influences everything that I do. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, everything is connected. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And your Instagram is full of beautiful photos from your trips. Oh my God.
Yes, I love this one from Turkey with balloons.
Oh yeah, that is so magical. Yeah. It's just I wasn't prepared for how it was going to be in Cappadocia with all of those air balloons. But I'm kind of happy that I wasn't prepared on what I thought it was going to be like. I mean, I'd seen pictures and stuff, but when you're there in real life, you really do feel like you're in a fairy tale. It was just beautiful.
But it looks like from the fairy tale.
Yeah. And what's your next trip? Where are you planning to go?
I don't know.
Question.
Je ne sais pas. No sé. Honestly, I have no idea. I've just been stuck. I feel like I've been stuck, and if I get an opportunity to go somewhere, I'll take that opportunity, and we'll see where the plane goes. It might be Mexico, or it might be just next door Sweden. God knows.
All right, and the next question. What does fashion mean to you? Is it your lifestyle or the way of stepping stone from reality?
It is both, really. I've always liked the idea of clothes as a means of something more than clothes. It is kind of a means of art. And I can sit and stare at a garment for hours and study its composure. And that, again, spikes my imagination and appreciation towards other artists as well. And I know a lot of people have that relationship when it comes to paintings and stuff, but I have that relationship when it comes to clothes.
Passion.
Yeah, that's what it is. And of course, I don't know, I guess when you're interested in it and you use clothes on a daily basis, then it does kind of become a lifestyle as well. You kind of can't avoid it. I do use my imagination that, again, I use it to test different patterns to make clothes for myself, and I'm conscious about the material and the colors and the composition, and what suits me or not, what mood am I in or not. So it does become a lifestyle, because my initial thought when it comes to clothes is, how can I make this myself and then alter it to my taste, to my lifestyle, to my everyday life, to the best use for me, and how I want to wear this sweater during the summer or during the winter or for a special occasion or just casually. So it is definitely a lifestyle, but it is also very much a kind of an escape from reality sometimes as well. I use a lot of reused, but I also have I'm very lucky in the sense that I've had the same size since I was in secondary school.
Wow. Oh my god! So you can
So
reuse and reuse.
I use clothes from way back that have been hidden places in the house. I use my mom's clothes sometimes. I drag things from her closet, and
This is
this is a men's shirt, and I love ties. If I need something new, then I'll always check on ties before if I have to end up going to the store for like some hiking clothes or something. So I honestly I can't remember the last time I was in a store for shopping. I mean, the last time I was in a store was actually 4 weeks ago, but that was because I was getting my shoes that I bought from that store fixed by them again. So I didn't really buy anything new.
It doesn't count.
So, yeah, it doesn't count. Yeah.
You were the youth president in the Norwegian Red Cross, and human rights play a fundamental role in your life. Do you think the fashion industry and human rights can go hand in hand?
Yeah, definitely. It can and it should. And as should everything else as well, and not only fashion, to be honest. I mean, human rights have to do with your right to live. So how are you going to be able to do anything if you don't have your most basic human rights in store? And I think also, like, I don't know, I guess I think like, where is my love for art and creating if I wouldn't love that for my fellow designers and artists around the world? That is why human rights and fashion or art does go hand in hand. How can I call myself a real artist if I don't wish that same freedom to practice that art and creativity for any fellow artist? And that's how all designers and singers and actors and producers and painters should think like as well. Human rights has to do with the right of a community. I was watching this documentary the other day, and it has to do with the right of a community to have clean water, clean air, which we do see that gets compromised in different villages in, for example, China or Indonesia, where you have big plants producing textiles and clothes and then dumping chemicals into the water, or producing producing cotton. How the disappearance of the water in the Aral Sea between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, it just disappeared over the span of 40 years. And this water was 5 meters deep. And then it disappeared over the span of 40 years because of cotton production. And that has led to diseases in the villages nearby, lack of crops, extinction of fish, and so the villages don't have that. And that, I think all of this has to do with human rights and their right to, breathe clean air and consume clean water. And also when we look at the occupation in Palestine now, art and human rights go hand in hand there as well. They're being deprived of their basic human rights every single day. They don't have the means to practice their art like we do. Their voices on social media are being silenced. They live in a siege. So how are they going to be able to share their art with the world? And how are they going to be able to reach the world with their creative geniuses? And that's, again, it has to do with human rights. And it could have been anything else but fashion or art. It could have been, we could have been talking about, even the your right to practice your study or your medical studies or anything. It is there within every single area you can find of passion or occupation in the world, I think.
Yeah, well said. I totally agree with you.
But I'm just wondering what went wrong, what happened that, I don't know, when it comes to the fast fashion, it exists, this modern slavery, right? What is happening that people make like such a wrong things to the others? Why?
Greed. I think it's greed.
Money. Mm-hmm.
It's greed, it's money, it's power, it's politics, it's, you know, it's all of these things. And all of this also affects us as consumers, because most of the time we haven't been told the truth. You know, now we're sitting here 40 years, and now we know that, you know, 40 years later, Aral Sea between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan is gone. Of course, we couldn't have known that while it was still there, but then it's not like it disappeared like this over the night. It was a gradual development that did happen. So why was the world deprived of knowing that before? Like way before. I'm quite sure that my knowledge about it also came a lot later than when things actually happened. But again, I think the fact that we as consumers are driven by buying the best and the cheapest, you know, that's what we want. But where does that mindset come from? You know, it comes from how we've been taught to think about the economy, how to think about smart costs, production, you know, all of this. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I do think it can be in many ways summed up to being greed and this chase for having power and being like a bigger brand and having market positions and all of that, and profit. And
almost the last question, the question that we always ask our guests: how do you imagine, in your perfect world, the future in designing clothes?
In the perfect world, it would be like, this is what I'm picturing, and then it would be like, oh right, it's right there in front of me.
It's your perfect world. if you have that kind of power to create the perfect world, which would be perfect for you.
Perfect for me would be that your creative process and your designs and production of fashion is not it's not made through compromising someone else's health or the earth in any manner. That would be the perfect world. But then again, you have that, you know, not compromising on creativity means no limits when it comes to material use or colors or size or whatever. So yeah, that's good luck with solving that.
Tricky question.
Tricky one, but you know, how are we gonna get somewhere if we don't have these big dreams?
Exactly.
Mawra, and our last question: where we can find you on social media, or do you have any website or?
Yeah, I have a website called mawra.no, so it's very easy, very straightforward. I'm on social media as well. I'm on, my Instagram is mawra.no, and the designs, you can find them on Mawra Designs on Instagram. So that's where I am. And I'm also here, but
we're also here.
You know.
Okay, thank you so much, Mawra, for our really important interview. We are happy that we had another opportunity to talk to you.
So am I.
Thank you for being with us, Mawra. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bisous, bisous.